Have you ever felt that no matter how hard you try, something invisible seems to be blocking your success? As if there's a filter between you and the opportunities that everyone else seems to reach so easily? The truth is, there's a technique, yes, a real, practical, ancient technique, once used by mystics, visionaries, and even forgotten scientists, that can completely shift your field of luck. The problem? They're trying to silence it. Videos have been deleted, texts have disappeared, and now this knowledge circulates only among those who have already awakened. This supernatural technique doesn't require blind faith or midnight rituals. It's rooted in the vibrational frequency you emit every single day, often without even realizing it. Infinite luck isn't a gift from the gods, but a forgotten skill that can be trained, activated, and directed. And the wildest part? You can start feeling the first signs in less than 24 hours. Get ready. Because in the next few minutes, you'll discover why your bad luck was never really bad, and how to flip the game today, before this video disappears from the internet like so many others. There is an idea as powerful as it is silent, one that few people dare to consider. Infinite luck is not a whim of chance, but the reflection of a vibrational frequency you emit. That's right. Luck, according to masters like Neville Goddard and Joe Dispenza, isn't random. It responds to a specific type of mental energy you feed into your energetic field every single day. When someone lives in emotional scarcity, constantly repeating phrases like, "Nothing ever works out for me," that vibration creates a magnetic field that repels synchronicities. On the other hand, those who maintain an elevated vibrational attitude, aligned with positive affirmations and clear goals, attract opportunities that seem like miracles. It's not magic, it's positive neuroscience. It's the subconscious mind working as a co-author of your quantum reality. And once you understand that, you realize you no longer have to beg for luck, you can summon it. Imagine, for instance, someone who, even without money, starts the day confidently repeating, "Everything is working in my favor." Within a few weeks, this person begins to notice small shifts. Someone recommends a job opening, a debt is renegotiated, an idea to start a business appears out of nowhere. But is it really out of nowhere? Or did their vibrational field restructure itself to attract compatible events? Louise used to say that our thoughts shape our biology, and now quantum physics is beginning to suggest that they also shape our external reality. In this context, infinite luck is nothing more than a reflection of your level of vibrational alignment with abundance. And once you understand that this can be consciously activated, everything changes. The law of attraction, at this point, acts like a spiritual compass. It points toward whatever your subconscious mind believes is possible. That's where the concept of conscious luck comes in, the kind that doesn't depend on the lottery, the stars, or today's horoscope, but on how aligned your vibration is with what you truly desire. The daily ritual of nurturing your vibrational frequency becomes as important, or even more important, than taking care of your physical body. Because your body may move through the world, but your vibration defines the quality of the road. This is the foundation of the supernatural technique we'll reveal throughout this video. But for it to work, you must first break the belief that life is just a sequence of misfortunes. And this is where most people fail. By believing that luck is something external, they treat it as something they can't control. But what if luck were reality's response to your internal vibration? What if the world weren't unfair, but simply responsive? That perspective changes everything. We begin to understand that our mind is not a spectator of events, it's an antenna that emits and receives, tuning into invisible yet real fields. These fields, often referred to as the energy field or quantum web, are shaped daily by what you feel, believe, and repeat. So if you wake up saying, "I'm unlucky," you're activating exactly that program. The secret is intentional self-programming. And this is where great spiritual teachers and modern researchers agree. The energetic flow we call luck can be accessed when we align inner belief with inspired action. It's not enough to want to succeed in life. You must become a vibrational magnet for blessings. That doesn't mean living in denial, but living awakened. Knowing that the universe responds precisely to your frequency. Want to change your results? Start by changing your mental energy, your way of thinking and speaking. Pay attention to people who label everything as hard, impossible, or unlucky. They live exactly what they affirm. And that's no coincidence. That's an invisible formula in action. Infinite luck, then, is not a rare blessing granted to the chosen few. It is a hidden skill, a kind of mental alchemy, that can be cultivated by anyone who chooses to exit autopilot and take control of their vibrational field. As Tesla once said, if you want to understand the universe, think in terms of frequency and vibration. And if you apply that wisdom to your daily life, you'll start to see that luck is, in fact, a reflection of your energetic coherence. But all of this only begins to truly manifest when you learn how to access the correct mental state. If there's a turning point between an ordinary life and a life filled with synchronicities, it's called mental state. The external world is merely a reflection of your inner universe, and this isn't just pretty philosophy, it's habit psychology and positive neuroscience applied to intentional manifestation. When the mind enters a heightened flow, a state of coherence between emotion, thought, and desire, the energy field begins to respond in a clear and powerful way. That's when the idea of infinite luck stops sounding like an illusion and starts becoming a real, almost tangible experience. The problem is, most people live on autopilot, anxious thoughts, disconnected emotions, and fear-based decisions. This lowers vibrational frequency and shuts off the radar of intuition. But the opposite is also true. When someone starts their day in inner silence, takes a few conscious breaths, and mentally repeats a guided visualization, something shifts. The mind becomes clear, and decisions flow more effortlessly. It's no coincidence that elite athletes, brilliant artists, and great inventors, like Nikola Tesla, often report moments of inspiration that arrived after entering an elevated mental state. They accessed what many call the field of possibilities or quantum reality. And this state isn't reserved for geniuses, it can be trained. Start with just 5 minutes a day, close your eyes, breathe deeply, and visualize something simple going right. A kind message, a pleasant encounter, a project flowing smoothly. The key here is consistency. The brain thrives on repetition, and the subconscious reprograms through it. That's why repeating positive affirmations like, "I am guided by conscious luck," or "everything I need comes to me with ease," isn't cheap self-help, it's self-programming. And the more emotion you pour into those phrases, the more they activate elevated vibration within you. Joe Dispenza explains that emotion is what charges a thought, and it's that charge that projects into reality. Without emotion, there's no mental creation. And without clear intention, the mind gets lost in the noise of routine. A powerful practice is to create your own mental luck corner, a space in your day reserved for raising your mental energy. It could be right before leaving home, during your shower, or even while commuting, with headphones and a playlist that connects you to your most confident self. In that space, you can repeat your clear goals, visualize your vibration expanding, and align with the feeling that luck is already active. It doesn't matter where you are, what matters is how you're vibrating. And the more you repeat this daily ritual, the more your mind enters creator mode rather than reaction mode. It's like changing the frequency on a radio station. Before, all you received was static, confusion, and exhaustion. Now, with the right vibrational alignment, you begin receiving ideas, paths, the right people, even solutions that once seemed impossible. Your mental energy becomes cleaner, more precise. You realize you're on the right path not because everything goes perfectly, but because even the challenges bring quick insights and hidden opportunities. And the longer you remain in this state, the more luck seems to chase you, as if it were inevitable. But none of this happens by chance. The right mental state is a choice. It doesn't just hit you out of nowhere, it's cultivated. And when you understand that, you see that luck isn't a privilege, it's vibrational discipline. The real question now is, how can you apply this in a practical way, in just 3 simple steps, so that anyone, even starting from scratch, can access this frequency daily without struggle? There comes a moment when knowledge must become action, and this is where the supernatural technique comes into play. Unlike complicated formulas that promise the world but only deliver frustration, this practice is simple, direct, and powerful. In just 3 steps, you can begin reprogramming your subconscious mind, aligning your vibrational frequency, and activating the intentional manifestation of infinite luck. It doesn't matter whether you're a beginner or have studied the law of attraction for years, what matters is your willingness to apply it with sincerity. Because the secret isn't in the complexity of the method, but in the depth of your intention. This is the daily ritual that connects your energetic field to what you truly desire. Step 1 is to silence the mind. That's it. And you know what helps? 3 deep breaths, eyes closed, attention turned inward. This lowers brainwave activity and puts your body into a receptive state. It may sound simple, but this is when the mind stops reacting to chaos and begins to create. Anyone who has practiced meditation knows this. Mental silence is the gateway to elevated vibration. And it doesn't need to be long. 2 minutes done with presence is worth more than 20 minutes of distraction. To make it easier, use soft binaural music or 432 Hz frequencies. These help the subconscious open up more quickly to the self-programming process. With the mind calmer, step 2 is guided visualization. Here, you're going to imagine, in vivid detail, the exact moment when luck happens. It could be you getting a phone call with great news, signing a contract, meeting someone special, or even stumbling across a $100 bill on the street. Why not? The key is to feel as if it's already happening. Feel the butterflies, the smile, the energy of victory. The brain doesn't distinguish between reality and vividly felt imagination, and that's where the miracle begins taking shape in the invisible. Step 3 is the repetition of positive affirmations, but with real emotion. Say phrases like, "Luck is chasing me," or "Everything always works out for me in unexpected ways," with enthusiasm, with active faith, with that spark in your eye that knows you're speaking truth. And here's a practical tip: create your own personal affirmation, something that feels powerful and natural to you. Repeat it for a few minutes every day, ideally at the same time. This creates a mental anchor that helps your subconscious recognize that something important is being installed. This technique, though simple, activates mental creation with precision. And you know the most common mistake? People do it once in a while, without presence. The key lies in consistency and feeling. If you treat this like a sacred ritual, even if it only lasts 5 minutes, the results will compound. Remember the story of the Chinese bamboo? It grows for years in the invisible before it ever appears. Your infinite luck works the same way. When you take care of the invisible, the visible transforms. And the mental energy you pour into this process is the fertilizer for manifestation. Over time, this exercise becomes automatic. Your mind begins to operate naturally at a higher vibrational frequency. You start noticing opportunities you once overlooked, your intuition sharpens, and you begin to act with more clarity. And suddenly, coincidences become so frequent that you stop calling them coincidences, you start calling them flow. Inspired action arises naturally, and your self-confidence grows because you can see life responding to what you emit. But this transformation only gains true power when you activate the belief that holds it all together. It doesn't matter how powerful a technique is if, deep down, you still doubt it will work. Belief is the hidden engine that activates infinite luck, and without it, everything remains just beautiful theory. Joe Dispenza teaches that the subconscious mind doesn't respond to what you want, but to what you believe with conviction. It's like trying to accelerate a car with your foot on the brake. On the outside, it may look like you're making an effort, but on the inside, there's hidden programming pulling you back into scarcity. That's why the biggest block isn't in the external world, it's in your internal vibration, in what you truly believe about yourself and what you feel you deserve. And look, this belief doesn't have to be religious. We're talking about active faith, not doctrine. It's that silent certainty that vibrates within you when you know something is going to work. It's the same feeling a musician has before stepping on stage, or a mother senses when she knows her child is okay. even from afar. That certainty is vibrational. And it's what reprograms the subconscious mind toward intentional manifestation. When you truly believe something is possible, not just saying it, but feeling it, your energy field reorganizes to make it happen. A powerful example of this is people who, even with no visible resources, deeply believe that something greater was waiting for them. Oprah Winfrey, for instance, talks about how, as a child living in poverty, she would mentally repeat that her life had a greater purpose. She couldn't see it in the mirror or in her bank account, but she believed. And that belief shaped her reality. Her mental energy, combined with inspired action and focus, activated a high vibration that attracted opportunities. The same applies to you. If your self-confidence is connected to a powerful inner vision, you become unstoppable. But how do you build that belief if you were raised to doubt? The answer lies in repetition and emotional practice. Repeat affirmations daily, but with emotion. Read books by authors like Louise Hay, Neville Goddard, and Esther Hicks. Write your desires every day as if they've already happened. Surround yourself with content that reinforces your vibrational alignment. The brain, when exposed to the same information long enough, accepts it as truth. And when the brain accepts it, the body feels it. And when the body feels it, reality responds. It's like planting an invisible seed. At first, nothing seems to change. You still wake up in the same place, with the same problems. But slowly, that new belief begins to take root in your energetic field. And suddenly, something shifts. You find yourself saying no to things you used to tolerate, making decisions you once avoided, walking with more certainty even if you don't know exactly where you're going. That's spiritual awakening. It's realizing that your luck isn't out there, waiting for something to happen. It's inside you, waiting for you to believe. And when that belief aligns with your daily practice, the first signs begin to appear. People show up with the exact information you needed, doors open unexpectedly, and even what seemed like bad luck turns out to be protection. Reality begins to respond almost immediately, as if whispering, "Now you've figured out the game." But the game only keeps flowing when you begin noticing life's subtle answers, the signs, the synchronicities, the invisible invitations pointing to the fact that your vibration is already activating the field of luck. This is the point where the invisible begins to turn visible. After days, or even weeks, of conscious practice, something curious happens. Reality starts sending signals back. Not like stage magic, but through subtle alignments that once went unnoticed. You think of someone, and they suddenly message you. You feel drawn to go somewhere, and there you find the answer you've been searching for. This isn't chance, it's manifestation. It's the elevated vibration you've been cultivating silently, activating the energy field. The luck that once seemed like a distant myth now reveals itself as a direct consequence of your alignment with quantum reality. Many call this coincidence. But as Jung once said, coincidences are encounters between the physical world and the symbolic world. And when you start paying attention, you realize that nothing is random. That opportunity that came out of nowhere, that book that showed up just when you needed it, or that unexpected conversation with someone who became a bridge, those are the signs. They're like little notes the universe leaves along the way, testing whether you're truly tuned into the flow. And when you respond to these signs with inspired action, the universe responds twice as strongly. It becomes a virtuous cycle. Want a practical example? Picture someone who practices their daily ritual of visualization and affirmations, even when there are no visible results. One day, on a whim, they take a different route to work and run into an old acquaintance who offers them a new opportunity. Is that luck? Perhaps. But more deeply, it's that person's vibrational field echoing into the environment. It's reality bending to the subconscious mind that finally learned to lead, instead of just react. That is how conscious manifestation is born. But be mindful, the universe's response doesn't always come with fireworks. Sometimes it arrives as a sudden intuition, a nudge to change direction, or even a crisis that breaks everything false so the truth can emerge. That's when many people give up, thinking the technique didn't work. But collapse is also a sign. Sometimes, luck comes disguised as discomfort, because before the new can arrive, the old must fall away. And if you understand that, you'll stop resisting the flow and start moving with it. Reality's response is also reflected in your emotional patterns. You begin to feel more confident for no apparent reason, lighter, more optimistic. You know those days when everything seems to work out, even the small things? That's aligned vibration. It's the result of continuous self-programming, of active presence, of connection with clear goals and an inner certainty that you are being guided. Conscious luck is not passive, it's a partnership between you and the universe, where each action you take opens a new response from life. And if the signs still felt subtle up to now, it's because the next phase requires a deeper level of sensitivity. When your spiritual awakening deepens, intuition becomes your GPS. You start to feel what needs to be done before your mind can rationalize it. And it's at this stage that luck is no longer something you chase, it becomes a natural extension of who you are. But for that to happen, you must anchor this new state with more than just desire. You need a vibrational foundation that is steady, subtle, and constant. And now that you know this, what will you do with that knowledge? Will you let the old programming keep deciding the direction of your life, or will you take control of your frequency and create your own luck? Because let's be honest, how many times have you waited for a miracle without changing anything inside? How many times have you blamed the outside world for something only you could transform within? You're holding a powerful technique, but it only comes to life when applied with intention. So let me ask you, why not start today? Why wait another week, another month, another cycle of frustration, when you could activate your luck right now, in just a few minutes a day? The choice is yours. And as you've already learned, the universe only responds when you choose to vibrate differently. So tell me in the comments, what did you feel the most throughout this video? What moment made something click inside you? Your answer might be the push someone else needs to change their life too. And if you want to keep awakening, unlocking hidden powers, and accessing everything they never told you about the power of the mind, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and step into this flow with us. Because here, luck isn't random. It's a code. And you've just cracked the first one.